I don't think a hot war over Taiwan is likely in the near future, as long as Taiwan does not declare its independence. And by the way, the United States will go to great lengths to make sure that Taiwan does not formally declare its independence. So I don't think that it's likely you'll have a hot war over Taiwan anytime soon. Now, you may say to yourself, why is that the case? I think there are really two reasons for that. First, amphibious operations are among the most difficult military operations for any army to conduct. An amphibious operation across the Taiwan Straits would be remarkably difficult to execute for China. A lot of this has to do with the fact that China has not fought a war since 1979. It's very important to understand that. The Chinese military does not have much combat experience. So I think the Chinese recognize that and will not try to invade anytime soon. This gets to my second point, which will reinforce my first point. My second point has to do with the question, which is the one you asked, as to whether the United States would fight to defend Taiwan in the event that China tried to invade. I think that the United States would definitely come to the aid of Taiwan. I think there is no way that the United States would stand by and allow China to conquer Taiwan. And I believe that Chinese leaders understand this. I believe that Chinese leaders understand that if they try to invade Taiwan, they will not just face Taiwanese military forces, they will face the Americans, and I believe they will also face the Japanese and probably the Australians as well. The United States and its allies in East Asia have a deep-seated interest in making sure that China does not conquer Taiwan. So that's why I don't think, for the moment, we have to worry about a war over Taiwan. Again, we're involved in a strategic competition here. We're involved in a serious security competition, and neither China nor the United States has any intention of losing. They're both going to push hard to take advantage of the other side. And when that competition plays itself out over Taiwan, the potential for danger is great. I don't think political support matters at all. American foreign policy elites do what they want to do. They don't really care about public opinion. And if they think there's any problem with the public, they'll propagandize. They'll invent stories that convince the American public that fighting a war over Taiwan is absolutely necessary. Should a conflict break out over Taiwan, I would argue that it doesn't matter whether a Democrat's in power or a Republican's in power. The leadership would act the same regardless of party affiliation. I think there's no question that the Americans are in a weaker position to defend Taiwan because of the assets they're committing to the Middle East, and because of the assets they're committing to the Ukraine war. I think this is in China's interest. I think the Ukraine war, as I said before, but also all these wars in the Middle East and America's sort of deep-seated commitment to Israel works to China's advantage because it makes it difficult for the United States to fully pivot to Asia. But the fact is that we have substantial assets in East Asia, and President Biden has said on 4 separate occasions that the United States would defend Taiwan if it were invaded.